Well, it's good morning. Sorry, shouldn't talk with my mouth full. Last Sunday, I had a very successful 1-hour flight with Jono in the SEPA. He's just bought that and he's getting used to it. As I said, we had a really good 1-hour fly around, and he pulled off a greaser of landing back on the hill. So well done to him for that. We then jumped into the Jodel. I think I've said before on the videos that we have a 2 o'clock curfew at Nayland, so I wanted to be airborne before that. I knew I didn't have very long, I needed to get back here, but I wanted to do a little bit of filming for that video that I had promised people that I would be doing about how I produce a video. We all do it in a different way. And I don't proclaim to be an expert in any way, shape or form, but for those people who wanted to know what the process is that I go through, hopefully you'll find this a little bit interesting. But having said that, let's not waste any more time and get into the air.
Okay, if you'd like to have a fly and a comparison.
Sure.
Got it?
Yep.
She's yours. Same sort of, in fact that's creeping forward a bit.
Yep.
Same sort of RPM that you're on, somewhere between 23, 24.
Yeah.
Because basically what I was going to do was I was just going to say that front camera is a GoPro Hero 3. I've got it set at 1080 and it's shooting wide angle. And if I do this one, that's the GoPro Hero 4, again set 1080 at wide angle, but that one's run off the power, so that can only work when the aircraft power is on, and I've got cables running. That runs down into that USB there. As far as cameras are concerned, there's just that other one, which is the side camera, and that is another GoPro Hero 3. This particular one is set at 1080 as well, but it's on narrow field of vision. And what I do have on the back is I have a mount there.
I don't normally start with this camera, but what I wanted to do is I just wanted to show what happens with this, because when you've got the Sony recorder and it goes into there and you go audio in, you press OK and then you start recording, and it will now mean that I can tuck that out of the way and completely forget it. Okay, so let's put those ones on, fuel pump on. I normally start with the mags off and just turn it over a couple of times just to break an oil seal, or find that there's not enough battery, which could be a problem today. Okay, so we'll get switches on, see what happens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Beep up! Good girl, keep coming. Front tank, so it should be working. Come on, stick with it. That's okay.
I'm here, are you there? Are you there? Got you. Okay, so the sound is recording, hopefully, should be, no reason why it shouldn't, which means that the front camera has been running the whole time. I'm now going to turn the back camera on. And I'm going to start filming it now. So that is filming. I've got this front camera, which I'm turning on, and I'm starting filming. Now, that's now tucked in there. What I have to do is I have to do a sound check to make sure that when it comes to editing, I can all put them together. Okay, so I do a sound check, I say 3, 2, 1, and then when you see the process, you'll see what I have to do with that. But that's now out of the way. What I have to do is I have to do a sound check to make sure that when it comes to editing, I can all put them together. Okay, so I do a sound check, I say 3, 2, 1, and then when you see the process, you'll see what I have to do with that. But that's now out of the way.
Trying to keep this as simple as possible. When I get back, what I do is I upload the shots that I've taken. I've only just kept this one as the basic 3. There is a lot more than that, but I'll keep these 3 on just to show the point. This is the forward-facing camera. That one there is the rear-facing camera, and that's the audio track. And what I do is I drag them down from that panel onto here. Now, the top there, number 1, that is the rear-facing camera. I've got the picture at the top, I've got the audio underneath. Here on track 2, that's the forward-facing camera. I didn't start that one, if you remember, until quite some time. So that's that camera at the that's that picture, beg your pardon, and along the bottom, that's the audio. What I do is, you can see there, I've lined them all up. I've lined them according to the clapperboard. You watch to see the point at which the clapperboard closes on the 2 visual tracks, and when you're listening to the audio track, you wait for the click. Now, I use the clapperboard sometimes. Sometimes I clap, and I do watch what other people do. Some people will clap once, some people will clap 3 times, but I do find that the clapperboard is a little bit more accurate in terms of getting that exact mark. And I can show you that if I put in track 2, you'll notice that there the clapperboard is closed. And I then bring that back, I take that picture off, it comes back to there, and at that point that's now all synced. So it will mean that wherever I play it, then it makes sense. I'll just see what happens. Don't know whether it's going to record this one the way that I'd like it to. And then when you see the process, you'll see what I have to do with that. But that's now out of the way. That can get tucked there. Handkerchief can go up to there. Playing that over and over reinforces the fact that John had a problem hearing me. I hadn't realised that I'd isolated his headset by mistake by knocking the switch. This final timeline looks quite complicated. Having synced the sound, it's a matter of cutting out the bits you don't want and choosing the camera angles that you think works best for you. And it's very much a matter of how you see it. Once you've done that, it's a matter of adding stills, transitions, sound effects, music, subtitles. The whole thing is that we all edit in different ways, and we all tend to develop our own styles.
It'll have a problem now picking up where it is. Oh no, it's not. Oh, it's
You'll see here where I've cut out
so it must have
sections.
just for one reason or other switched
I've cut it out from track 2, then it will play 1, and it will flip from one to the other.
Okay, if you'd like to have a fly and a comparison.
I've put a subtitle in at the top there.
Yep, she's yours. What I have
I put in another small piece of film into there.
And on the shelf here, I've just got a standard Garmin Glow. So the Garmin Glow just sits on there, and that's what I use. Standard setup.
But I'll stop that
for
now,
the instrument panel.
and I'll play the whole video.
I do miss my other headset, but hopefully it will be back from the menders fairly soon. Clear on the approach.
Hi Tim, you're on frequency.
I am. I'm not sure whether I'm transmitting. Have you got me?
Hi, I can see you backtracking. My readability 5.
Yeah, I got you 5.
Thank you, sir. I'm just a couple of miles out to the east.
Okay, well, we're about to go, and then we'll be heading off Brightlingsea Way for a while.
Hey, firm, I'll be returning in about 5 minutes.
Okay, you're fine. Line up with the trees. And that puts you down the middle of the runway.
Nolan traffic, Golf Bravo, Uniform Yankee Kilo inbound, 1 mile to run from the east.
It's nice to see an expert at work. Oh, I don't know about that. It does sound very different with different headsets on, though.
It does, yeah. Yours is much quieter.
In one of the videos, I'm talking about the difference between the trim. Because when we went down to Laddingford, I had to fly the last bit with all of the pressure of the aircraft, and I couldn't trim it.
Okay.
And it had seized up. What had happened is some of the cogs in this bit had worn. So to make a temporary repair, which has now become a permanent repair because it's working, John turned this lever upside down. So in most of them, it stands upright.
Oh, I see.
And works backwards and forwards.
Yeah.
This time it's the other way, but it's the same thing.
Yeah.
If you look, if I go clockwise,
Trims down.
it trims down.
Cool, it's quite powerful too.
Yeah. And if I go, I'll try and get it back onto the level before I do that. And if I go anti-clockwise, it trims up.
Yeah.
But the strange thing is,
Nolan traffic, Golf Bravo, Uniform Yankee Kilo.
you are very, very sensitive.
Yeah.
It's very sensitive. Now, if you look, I'm in the middle of that yellow arc.
Yeah.
If I pull my carb heat out, yes, there was an engine pitch change.
That's very positive, eh?
And that's on the move. I'm higher than 1,000, so my fuel pump can come off. Funny. It seems to have switched itself off. Because I did press go flying, and it normally allows you to do that. It'll have a problem now picking up where it is. Oh no, it's not. Oh, it's the track is there, so it must have just for one reason or other switched itself off.
Went to sleep.
Yeah. That's because I put the heater on. Okay, if you'd like to have a fly and a comparison.
Sure.
Got it?
Yep.
She's yours. What I have is an iPad with SkyDemon, and on the shelf here I've just got a standard Garmin Glow. So the Garmin Glow just sits on there, and that's what I use. Standard setup for the instrument panel that you've actually seen any number of times.
Where should we fly out to?
Well, unfortunately, I haven't got that much time because I've got to get back to Karen. Well, why don't you give yours a buzz?
What I'll do is I'll do a right turn and go over this way.
Yep.
Your rudder's a lot stiffer than mine.
Yeah.
Mine, if you just rest against it, it turns for you.
Okay.
No one's out and about.
Right.
Your rudder's easier to push as well, isn't it? It's easier to get your foot on it.
Oh yeah. Yeah. No, that was the only thing with yours that I found quite tricky.
Yeah.
And that was because I kept on trying to put my feet up too high,
Yeah.
and then the wider part of my feet wouldn't sit between the lugs of your rudder pedal.
Yeah.
But as soon as you got into the habit of leaving your heels on the floor,
Yeah.
but presumably you can't, your side, do that because you need your toe brakes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was doing it just above the ball of my foot
Right.
when I come in. Otherwise it feels uncomfortable. You put too much correction in.
Okay. Yeah. Nayland traffic, Golf Alpha Yankee Echo Hotel is in the overhead, Nayland traffic. John's car's on the move.
Car?
His car.
Oh,
His Morris. When you turn downwind, you're basically turning right into the sun.
Yeah.
Only the picture is very different between mine and yours, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Even just sitting in the cockpit is different.
Yeah.
Gives a different feeling altogether.
If you bring the speed back just a little bit, put us definitely in the right arc, and then pull the air brake up.
What is that, this?
Yep. Trim forward it, or trim change, or whatever.
You want to take control?
Yep, I have control.
You have control?
Delta for Mike for Romeo, joining run downwind 0.
Always pays to just look right, just
Yeah.
in case somebody's on a longer one.
Thank you very much for letting me have a go.
Quite all right. It's interesting sometimes to just make a comparison, isn't it?
Yeah.
Nayland traffic over Yankee Echo Hotel, flying on Nayland traffic. Looks like somebody's,
Delta for Mike for Romeo, downwind 0.
looks like somebody's walking on the runway at the top.
And we've arrived.
We're back on the ground. Okay. And what I have to do, because that camera is based on aircraft power, I actually have to turn it off
Oh, see.
before I shut the aircraft down.
Yeah.
Alright, so the air brake can come down, do a mag check, turn the EFIS off, turn the radio off.
Thanks for watching to the end. Hope you enjoyed the video. Share it with anybody who you think might be interested. Please leave a comment and subscribe if you haven't already done so.